Welcome back to another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This. I am your host, Trey the Barber.
And it's your other host, Dicethebarber.
And today in the building, we got my man, good friend of mine, writer, comedian, actor, you know what I'm saying? Everything, all of the above. My man, Dannon Green. What up, bro?
What up, y'all? What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah. Finally got Dannon on the motherfucking show.
Finally got Dannon on the show,
niggas
man.
had a catnap and bribe me with some liquor.
Hey, there we go. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
First of all, just so you know, we always start our show off by saying thank you to the Lord for waking us up this morning, allowing us to make it through another week, you know what I'm saying, to come through and just to be able to do what we do, you know what I'm saying? Because without him, nothing is possible.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
If you ain't got the help from God, you ain't got nothing.
That's right. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into the devilish acts.
Lord.
And the first thing we do is we start our show off with a shot. So to you, Mr. Green,
Hey, brothers.
salute.
Bang, bang.
Dice.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's that cone yizzy.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
What?
Did you ever think about doing the prayer after this? Instead of,
No.
thinking the Lord? You gotta thank God after the shot.
No. We gotta thank God first. And then, just like you said, now into the devilish acts.
Oh, I got you.
Because it could always, you could
It can
always
go anyway.
You don't want to do the. What if you do the shot and die before you thank the Lord?
Man, you guys got a way of
See,
thinking.
you gotta
do
wait.
the shot, and all of a sudden you start having a heart attack.
Yeah, okay.
Oh shit!
I got you. I'm with you.
So peep the game. Like, okay, Dannon is one of my clients and has been now for a few years.
Sometimes he come to me.
Yeah.
No,
He does come to me.
only if
sometimes.
I'm not available.
I started with that story.
He started with me.
Look, I was just about to get into that. Here's the funny thing: when Dannon was first started coming to the shop, he was known as a chair hopper.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't really care who was available. He didn't care as long as you can get him in and get him out.
Just make it bald. Nigga.
Right.
Make it ball.
So-
you can't do that. You really don't need to be in the shop.
So I had noticed one day that Dannon had gone to everybody in the shop except for me. So I pulled Dannon to the side. I'm like, yo, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Oh, you did
too
a
good
mic
for me?
You did a mic on him.
I'm like, why?
You pulled him to the side.
I noticed you coming here. You'll sit at anybody's chair but mine. And he was like, my bad, bro. It was nothing personal.
Nothing.
I'll take you up this time.
Straight business.
Same thing with him not talking to Mitch when he came in the shop.
I'm gonna get into that in a second too.
Man, you guys got a long memory.
And so after that, he came to me, and he has been my client ever since. He has no longer been a chair hopper, and he has always stayed pretty faithful. You know, sometimes my schedule's booked. He books a little late.
He's
So I'm
tilting
like,
on the edge, though.
You know what I mean?
Then he'll come see me.
I must be. Yeah, dog, go see Dice.
He got to keep it tri-state.
You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
I do like to thank you for actually selecting me
Well, man,
as your permanent barber.
Oh, that's some homo ass shit.
No, they know.
That's some
you know,
bitch.
when you spend that's why
is that some bitch shit?
This nigga's taking the glory like, it's my mama. Nigga, shut the fuck up.
Hey, Trey,
nigga.
don't worry about that, man.
That's what, right.
You're thankful.
Sounds like
Trey's nice. Trey's nice. Now, I mean, I'm glad Trey be lacing you, bro.
Okay,
Know what I
that's
mean?
all good, man. Hey, Trey done been under, it's like in it's like a boxer and a trainer where trainer been through a couple championship rounds with him, where he been through a number of my commercials. So far,
yeah, Trey,
so,
he keep you booking.
Yeah, so I got to keep it fresh.
There we go. So, with that being said, it's funny because, you my guy. You know what I'm saying? But last night, I knew you were coming on as a guest, so I had to actually Google you.
Okay. I'm happy that you took, 4 years to Google.
Ho. Dannon from Philly.
I don't know.
Dan is from Philly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like tell him what part of Philly you from, bro.
I'm from the Hilltop, West Philadelphia. And everybody knows about the Hilltop.
Hustlers.
Everybody knows about
and it's real.
Hilltop.
And it's real.
It's
Know what I mean? And Dannon is a solid. He's a solid man, bro.
He's a really good brother, man. He's a really good brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't meet a lot of motherfuckers like that out here in Hollywood, but Dannon, you know what I mean? He from back home and he always stayed with, you know what I mean, with that back home mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love him for that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, I typically don't Google my friends.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right, I got
saying?
you.
But as I was Googling you, I found out a lot of information. Again, I smoke weed. Some of the things they were kind of like, I think he said that before. I feel like it's information I kind of knew,
right?
But to actually read it, it like wow, you have had a really interesting life.
I have.
One of the things I think I've heard you mention it before, but I wasn't for sure. That I didn't quite know is that you were adopted.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was reading on there. I'm like, yo, it said that your birth mother passed away when you were 10 months old.
Yeah, I'm a product of the foster care system since 10 months.
Wow. Yeah, they say you were in foster care
that was a good foster care.
From 10 months to the age of 7.
Yeah, I lived in 8 foster homes before I got adopted.
Wow.
How old were you when you got adopted?
I was 7 or 8.
Wow.
And so that's how, when people always joke or laugh at me because I say, where you from? And I could tell them so many different spots, but I was born in New York and I lived in New York for the first 7 years of my life. Born in Manhattan. Then I went to foster care in Long Island, Staten Island. And then I went to my paternal aunt and uncle in Queens for about a year. They decided to give me back up, went back into foster care, got adopted at 7. Then I moved down to Philly. That's how I got to Philly.
Right.
Wow. Yo, I never knew that. I mean,
yeah. Well, people don't know, I don't carry it. I'm not one of them dudes to, unless you do Google me and you find out about me, I've never been a guy to wear that type of, wear it on your shoulder, you know what I mean? Like some people make it a crutch or something like that. Yeah. Because then, really be at the end of the day, people care, but unless you're doing something, nobody really give a fuck. So you gotta.
Like for me, it was like really interesting. Excuse me, because like you say, a lot of people do use things like that as a crutch. You know what I'm saying, to kind of give them excuse for why they aren't doing or being where they want to be.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, yo, like to read that, because you are such a positive brother. Every time Dannon comes into the shop, he's always got good energy. You know what I'm saying? He never really gives off. He don't give off no shade, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So to read that, and it's like, yo, I never knew that. One, I never knew that. 2, it was like, looking at it, because to see where you are today, because we'll get into a little bit more of things I got down here about you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to give everything up at once. So it was just like, for me, it was like, yo, it was like one of the first things I read, and it just kind of struck a nerve in me. And it's like, damn, it was funny because you had just said a couple of days ago you was born in Manhattan, New York.
Right.
Then you moved down to Philly when you were 7, but I didn't understand why. Yeah. I just thought, your parents moved down there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a wild story, because the lady that adopted me, how I got my last name, was one of the foster care ladies that I lived in. Now, she's my mom. And what happened was she had me in foster care for about 2 years. I was taken out of the home, put back, with my maternal aunt and uncle. When that didn't work out, I was put back in foster care. And then she said when she heard that I was back in foster care, that's when she went and said that she wanted to adopt me. So, but that's just, I've just been one of them dudes. I really like to say that I'm a real, like, if you want to say a city dude that got the street sense but book smart, because I know that, there's certain ways you have to be. So, Dice said I'm a solid dude, but it's just that I grew up around dudes that was hustlers, that was about that business, and they always told you, man, I've seen dudes turning their family for snitching and not being solid, you know what I mean? And so I was always told, man, if this is what you're doing or whatever you're doing, you got to commit to it. And if you're involved in it, that's you got to take your responsibility for whatever you do. So I always had to look at it, and I knew at the end of the day, when I saw a lot of my partners getting in trouble, or I knew a lot of the old heads getting in trouble, that at the end of the day, nobody gonna care if I'm adopted or not. When the judge is saying, you still got to do these 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
So I just decided, really to, be more. It's not about being positive, but just be straight. I'm always on my P's and Q's. You know what I mean? People, they may joke on me a lot and all that, but I'm always observing, and I try to be smart about
and I
my
see
situation.
that. Listen, bro. I see that shit all the time. It's like, nigga, I'm going to observe my whole surroundings right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
and not only, but when I'm saying that is not only good and bad. When you out, I learned something a long time ago. I saw this documentary, and it was on this actor back in the day, Joffrey, I think Holford or something like that. He was the brother that used to be the 7-Up commercial guy. I don't know if you guys old enough.
Yeah.
With the deep voice. Yeah. No, with the bald head. The bald head.
That was with the afro. That was
he didn't even have an afro. He had a
but I'm saying the nigga with the afro was.
But anyway, I mean, that's besides the point.
But anyway, he said that his he said that his dad used to teach him, always taught him that when you walk into a place, you ain't got to be the loudest. You know what I mean? Put a drink in your hand, go to the corner, and have people wonder who you are. So that's always been my style.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I feel like, have you got in touch with you know, your family? I mean,
I never did. It's something that I'm looking at now as I get older. Family? But what happened was, if you know anything about the foster care system, definitely New York. New York has some of the strictest rules when it comes to sealing, you know, your adoptions, the information. So they don't keep those records open. But I think now with all of the internet stuff and things like that, you know, you can do the research. The only problem is for me at the time was first it was, you know, really having the time, you know what I mean? And then you always have that inner thing like, okay, is this something I want to do? But as I look back, because I got a paternal brother. I got actually a brother that's 18 months older than me. That's my blood brother that I've never seen. So I don't know if he's alive or dead, but, you know, I do.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's real. Wow. Yeah, it's real talk.
I mean, and I know that's got to eat.
Do you know his name? And
Robert. They said his name was Robert George. See, that's why.
So your last name should be George.
Yeah, I'm actually.
It should be.
It is. Well, no. That's a good point, though. No. I'm gonna tell you why. Though. I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's my middle name now.
Okay.
See, when my mom adopted me, she said she wanted me to keep something of my past, so she made my middle name. Because my real middle name is Dannon George. Because
Ajetta.
I'm actually an islander.
Yeah.
I'm either West Indies or what am I saying? West Indies or not Jamaican, West Indies or Trinidadian.
I mean, so like in your whole life, do you? I mean, like, you know, knowing that you was adopted and stuff like that,
right.
You know, like, does it have something in the back of your head all the time and make you be like, you want to know what? I really want to know. I mean, who I am.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, because you are who you are.
No, you are who you are. You know, at the end of the day, we're all individuals.
But I mean, why you act the way you act? What I mean, being who your actual family is.
That's what I'm
going
to say.
Bloodline.
I'm going to say, at the end of the day, we're all individuals. Mm-hmm. But you, Trey, my man, B, you know, everybody, you can always say, well, I got my nose from from this person, or I got my talk from this person, or my attitude, or even my sickness from this person.
Right.
I've never been able to do that. So that's why, like, I've always been a dude that stayed up on my health. And people like trip, but I ain't scared to go to the doctor because I can't. If I
because you don't know,
I don't know because you don't know where it came from, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, the thing about it is, you think about it, you don't dwell on it because if you dwell on it, then it puts you in that mood. But you have to, you know, honestly, man, you know, at the end of the day, you got to make that choice. You know what I mean? So my thing is always been, and I don't do everything right. I God forbid saying that, but my thing is, I've always been a dude that has been like, okay, you know, what's the situation? Blah, blah, blah. Let's handle it. Do you have anybody? Because, you know, I lost my adopted mom at 15. So I've been on my own since 15. I was going to get
into that, too.
Yeah.
You like a freshman in high school, right?
No, I was my first year in high school. She passed, Damn. I was going to Dobbins.
And then your adoptive...
My brother. My brother. Y'all met him before, Mike. He came into the shop a long time. He passed 3 years ago, but he took me in. And Mike was a hustler. So that's why I learned a lot about the game, about life, you know what I'm saying? And for those times I lived with him for 2 years. But literally, I've been on my own since 15. You know, I guess record-wise, 17. Right. You know, so yeah.
That's what's up. So Mike took you so you say Mike was a hustler. He took you in. Mm-hmm. Did he try to show you the game, or did he detour you from the game and say, yo, do this, like, bro, don't be like me, don't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's my brother. My brother was, I tell people, he was smarter than 5 people put together. He got put up from the 7th grade to the 9th grade, and they wanted to put him in the 10th grade.
That's Albert Einstein.
The dude was smart, but he was also a street dude. So my mom didn't let him go up to the 10th grade because she said he's just too young to go to school with guys, you know, in Philly.
And they're Philly crazy.
Yeah. So the whole thing about Mike, I learned, you know, a lot of lessons. You know, like when you owe somebody money. Nigga, if you owe a dude money, it happens. Just let the dude know, I know I owe you the money. You know what I mean? Because one time I owed him $1 trying to hide in the house. You know what I mean?
Over $1.
Over $1, yeah. Then he called me in the true story. He called me in the basement. And, yo, damn, he talked to you. I said, what's up, Mike? And he punched me dead in my stomach. And I said, man, I was on the ground. You know, it wasn't as hard as he said, nigga, get up. It ain't that hard. I was like, all right. He said, look, nigga in the street will kill you for less.
Yes.
You owe me money. You always let me know. You know what I mean? So I learned those lessons. But Mike was the kind of dude that, you know, he sold weed, started with weed, went to cocaine, was moving it, you know, on the East Coast. But the thing about it, he never wanted me involved in it. And I'll never forget the story, man. I came to visit him my freshman year in college. And my brother was different. He dealt with the Jamaicans. You know, if you know about the East Coast, Jamaicans, most people ain't.
I dealt with Jamaicans
ain't. They usually don't let you. They don't really let you deal. You know what I'm saying?
Incriminate yourself.
And he said, yeah. So anyway, I remember my brother was sitting on the. Sitting down, cutting some coke. I was sleeping on the couch, and they was selling coke across the street from the police station.
Wow!
So I was like, this is a true story. I said, Mike, man, what's that nigga? The cops right there. He said, we so close they ain't gonna look for us here. I was like,
Facts.
you got a point. Yeah, you got it.
I would say, like, the funny thing you said that, because back in the day, I used to always speed past police stations.
Right.
And my boys would be like, nigga, why are you speeding past the police station?
Because they not there.
Like, that's what I used to, nigga, they're not there. Like, this is the one place I can't speed past. I say either one, they're just starting their shift if they're pulling out, or two, they're ending their shift. They're trying to go home.
And they ain't trying to get
either one, they're not really trying to fuck with you right there.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So anyway, it was just a big, it was an incident where I was sleeping on the couch, but I was kind of up and I heard him talking. And the Jamaican boy said to my brother, he said, Mike, your brother, he do this. He said, man, he been around us his whole life. He ain't never did it. So I knew he was proud for me not doing it. And then one time when the dude did offer me some coke, he told the dude he'd kill him if he ever did it again. Then he called me in the bathroom and said, you better never do this. And I was an athlete, though. So I said, Mike, I ain't trying to do this. And that was pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
You was a boxer, right?
Yep.
Because
Still am.
You still are.
Yes.
Don't fuck with Dannon, even at his age.
Yeah, even at my age, but they like to joke about.
Dannon. I always joke with Dannon. I tell Dannon he like 75, but Dannon ain't that old. You know what I'm saying? Like,
60.
but
I ain't even that old.
But I tell people all the time, like, yo, Dannon got hands still. Like, anybody who's trained in boxing, who be training niggas, I don't give a damn how old you are. Them niggas might catch your ass. Right, you better catch it, because that nigga might catch you with one and sleep your ass.
But you know what I tell people, man, about the boxing game? I started boxing because what happened was when I was living in Philly, I had two partners, Jason Coles, Eric Adams. They still my boys today, but they were shorter than me. So back on the East Coast, Midwest, slap boxing was big back in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm slap boxing, and they will always tag me, and I'm like, damn. And I knew I could go. I could at least street fight. I'm like, why these? So one day I was walking down the Ave in Philly. I was on Lansdowne Avenue, 65. I could tell people right where it was, 61st and Lansdowne Avenue.
How old were you?
I was 14.
Okay.
And I saw, and they were walking to the gym. They were walking down the street with them bags in their hands. So I said, where y'all going? They're like, oh, we going to the gym. I'm like, what gym y'all go to? They're like, oh, we box. I'm like,
that was your homies?
Yeah, my homies. But I'm like, y'all ain't tell me.
Like, nigga, y'all boxing and y'all ain't letting
That's why y'all tagging me.
Yeah, but no, but this lets you know how it was back then. Back in the day, as you was a kid, you went to school with somebody. Everything you worried about was what's happening in school. When you went home, you didn't share that with you know what I'm saying?
You ain't talking about all
even
that.
though we hung. So, but we never, obviously they was on their block and I was on my block. So I ran home. I said, Dad, Mom, I want to box. She said, nope, you can't box. So then I came back and I told her a lie. I said, well, I've been having trouble in the street, Mom. She said, no, you can't box. I said, okay. Then she came back 2 days later and said, you can box, but I hope you get hurt. And I'm like, damn, okay, that's pretty nice of you.
Your mom
I was like, well, I'm not going to get hurt.
You get hurt.
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. So I started
make your ass quit.
Yeah. So I started going to this gym. It was called the Philadelphia Executioners, the Executioners 60th and Vine. And I wound up staying. My boys wound up leaving, and I became the best one out of the group. And then I wound up.
You started busting their ass and slide by.
Yeah. Well, we was all go. I mean, they can go. You know what I mean? But we was all, we was partners. We never went at it after that. Yeah. But I wound up coming in second in the city in 1981 in Junior Olympics.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So you actually had a real chance at going pro, right?
I did. What happened was in 81 when I came, in 1980, 81 I was training. I came in second in the Junior Olympics in 81. So then I was starting to build a little name for myself around the way. My old head boy, my boy Mike Wells, I was and Bob Nix, they was my partners, but they was older than me. So I rolled with them. So they be like, yo, that's little Dan, yeah, that nigga nice. People just like giving me juice. Back then it was a different type of love. It's not like you had to be braggadocious. It's just like, yo, yeah, that's my young boy, D. He got hands.
Because a lot of niggas be hating, what I mean, back in Philly.
Yeah, but they was all, my neighborhood was different because if you was a hilltop and you was from that area, everybody just gave you love. So I didn't have any issues.
Yeah, but I mean, like Hilltop and like West Philly, North Philly and shit like that. I mean, like them niggas, you know how niggas be.
Well, yeah. But if you're from that area, most time, So anyway, what happened was then that when I started, coming up, my mom died. So then I had to move out of Philly. So I went to 4 high schools. You know what I'm saying? In 3 different states. So I never got settled. So I didn't get back into the boxing game but I was always training in different places. I just never fought. And then what happened was in college, I was at a gym in Iowa when I went to college, and Michael Nunn was from that same gym I was training at. So I was just training, started to work out and stuff. And Michael Nunn was coming back for one of his pro fights, like his 4th fight before he won the world title. So they was like, hey, Green, Joe Goosen, who I know personally. He was like, he went to the Alvino Pena, who was the trainer at the time. He said, hey, do you have any southpaws in here? Because Mike's fighting a southpaw. We just need somebody that can work around with Mike for the next 3 days to the fight. So the Alvino Pena, this Mexican guy, came up to me, Green. I was like, yeah, you want to spar none? He ain't say nothing. You want to spar none? And I was like, and the gym was packed. Like TV cameras, news people, everybody. I was like, so it was like, I was like, no. I was like, yeah, I spar him. So they put the gloves on me, and I sparred 3 rounds with none.
Knocked him out.
Hell no, I wish, but I did 3 rounds with none for 3 days. And what happened was I got interviewed, and people was like, yo, you pretty good. And then I kept thinking, I'm not gonna fight nobody in the amateurs as good as this dude. So I took it, I said, let me go ahead and see what I could do. So I trained for 2.5 years straight. I won 13 fights in a row, and I won a Golden Glove tournament back to back.
That's what's up.
Yo, how was your first fight? And I mean, like
sparring or fight?
Fight.
Okay. Let me tell you the first time I sparred. That's funny because when I first time I sparred, when you're in Philly at the Executioners, they would throw you in the ring after maybe a week because they want to see where your heart is.
Executioners got a big name.
Yeah. So I was.
That's something y'all know. I don't know shit about no.
Anyway, they put me in a guy that was in the gym about the same amount of time I was there. So we both learned how to jab and throw right hand. So we get in there the first round and we jab and bam, but then he starts tagging me. Then finally I throw all the boxing skills out the window and try to go street fighting and got my ass whipped from 4 corners. He beat me so bad. It's a true story. When I went home, I didn't want to go to sleep because I thought I was gonna die. You know what I mean? I was like, nigga, if I close my eyes, ain't no way my head is not gonna burst open. So my mom came down like, what you doing on the couch? I was like, I'm not tired. Nigga, go to bed. It's 10 o'clock at night. Get your ass upstairs. So I went to sleep. I woke up. But then I went back to the gym and that was it. But my first fight was, I fought a dude. I won my first fight. Actually, my first fight was the Golden Gloves. I mean, the Junior Olympics. And I beat the dude and then I lost my next fight, the championship fight. So, but the first fight, it was just, it's something, man. When you in there, it's funny. My partners used to know I had a fight coming up because as talkative as I was, I would get quiet for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they'd be like,
"You training and shit."
Yeah, but no, but I'm talking about in school anywhere. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, "Green," I was yeah. You got a fight coming up, don't you? Like, yeah, nigga, we know. Because I just shut shit down mentally, and you
focus on that.
Plus, you're nervous because you don't know what this other dude is bringing. Right. And it's that nervousness to you.
That's what I was going to ask you. You know what I mean? How nervous were you?
You're very nervous. I mean, if you ain't nervous, you ain't prepared. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was always prepared. Like I ran. Like I went back to Philly for the Hilltop reunion, and dudes I didn't even know that were paying attention to me was like, "Yo, I used to see you get up. You be running with your bulls, or I would run with 5-pound weights and all that type of stuff." But I was always prepared. But you still got that nervousness. But hey, man, let me tell you something. That when that bell ring, that shit is out the window.
Hell yeah!
I don't care who you are. That you ain't thinking about nothing.
I mean, so like when you're in there, when you're in that ring, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you thinking about all your training or I mean,
no, it's all instincts then. Yeah. Now you just working, And the funny thing about me was, I was a good fighter. I was like, I had 17. I only lost 3 fights, so I remember I used to come back to the corner and. Like even when I won the gloves, my trainer was Vonzel Johnson, who was a very good trainer, former light heavyweight contender. I come back to the corner. He said, "Okay, Dan." I said, "Vons." Like, he said, "Dan, look this one." I said, "Vons." He's like, "What?" I said, "How'd I look? That look good?" And he's like, "Nigga, don't worry about how you look. Just because I always was styling on him." So yeah, yep.
Now, I mean, so. What?
No. I was gonna say because you just recently did a documentary.
Oh. I mean, like. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. I mean, like I had some other shit that I'm gonna do, but go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's do that. We can come back to that.
Well, what I was gonna ask was, I mean, because Dannon Green is a comedian, right. You know what I mean, and he is a boxer. So I was gonna ask you, you know what I mean, what made you basically want to transition from basically being a boxer to being a comedian? And I mean,
I was gonna get into that in a minute. I told you.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
But listen, I told the nigga before we started this show, right. I did my research on Dannon.
But I had shit too.
I have a whole list.
Okay.
follow my lead.
Okay, go ahead.
You heard it.
Go ahead, Trey.
I know you heard it.
Well, we gonna go with you then. Trey.
Go ahead, Trey.
So
nigga.
no, I wanted to because we're on the boxing team.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I wanted to because you just recently did a documentary about the boxing gym that you came from.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
So give us a little bit about that, how it went down, what inspired you to do so.
What it was is in today's time, we, and you guys are actually old enough to remember, even in your neighborhood, even if you did have a father figure around or if you didn't, there was always some men that talked into your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And when we went to this gym was an iconic gym. This gym was actually one of the best gyms in the city. We're probably second known under Joe Frazier's gym. And
give him the name again.
Joe Frazier.
No, the gym.
Our gym, the Philadelphia Executioners.
Yeah.
And we had Jimmy Beecham, who was a well-known trainer and stuff, came from our gym. He used to be at our gym. He also started his own gym, Beecham's Gym. But anyway, what happened was I went home last year to the Hilltop Reunion. It was the second one they had in Philly. And I had a show at Warm Daddy's, the comedy club out there. And my partner that I used to box with, Lydell Johnson, was at the show. So I asked Lydell, I said, hey, man, by the way, man, because I knew Tucci had died, who was with the main guy that started. I said, hey, is Frank still? I said, hey, so Frank died? He said, nah, Frank alive, Frank good. I said, damn, is he? I said, yeah. I said, give me his number. That was in August. He gave me the number. I didn't call Frank. I go home. One day I'm laying in bed in November, and I started thinking about the history of the gym. And I actually started thinking about how our society is today, where everything's so microwave that we forget things that happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I started thinking about how my life was going, and I was saying to myself, these two guys spoke into my life as well as all of these guys' life. We had an iconic gym. I said, it would be a shame if Frank dies and takes that whole history with him to his grave.
Yeah.
So I called Frank up, and this is what really made me want to do it. I ain't talked to Frank Taylor in about 30 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
30?
About 30 years.
I told you that nigga like 75.
I ain't scared to my age. I'm 52. So
they ain't talking to him since he was 22.
So what happened was I called him up and I said, yes, is Frank Taylor there? And he's always been a nice guy. And he said, yeah, he said, yes, this is Frank Taylor. I said, Frank Taylor, this is Dannon Green. I used to box for you when I was a kid. And he goes, Dannon Green. He says, Dannon Green, Felton Street, Southpaw, good fighter. Yeah, I remember you. And it touched me.
He broke you. He broke me
down. Which is what trainers do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it touched me because he remembered
you.
And I said, Frank, I want to tell y'all a story. He said, I got to tell the story about the gym. I said, because we had so many iconic guys. We had guys that were ranked as from 1, 5, almost everybody in the top 10 in the country, in amateurs. We had one dude get invited to the to Olympic trials in '84. We had another dude win a world title for Aaron Pryor to a split decision. And we had other dudes that was ranked as one of my other partners, Lydell, which I'll talk about in the documentary, he was ranked as high as number 3 in the country. And the only dude he couldn't beat was Medrick Taylor. I mean, this is how good these dudes. So I told him, I said, I want to tell this story. Got in touch with one of my partners, and one thing led to another, and they were all on board. And I was just like, man, it's a story. I don't know if we can get a deal. I don't know if we can sell it. But I found some guys to back me, to go in with me, and we went ahead. I've already got all the footage shot. I did my last bit of shooting this past week. And now I'm in the verge of writing out the story. And then getting an editor. I'm talking to the editor now. I'm going to put the story together. It's called The Executioners.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Nigga, that shit going to be hard, bro.
Yeah.
I mean?
I got footage. I got everything,
just to
pictures.
bring all that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've been real proud of you on doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because as you've been working, I'm like, yo, this nigga's moving on this shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, taking constant trips back to Philly and
and the cost,
recording. I mean, just like you told me, like in the shop, like you had your people from like San Francisco.
Yeah,
fly out there. And I mean, everybody, doing what they got to do.
You know what, man? I tell anybody, man, any ideal you have, I don't give a fuck what it is. Somebody, you could find one person to believe in it.
Yeah.
The question is, you got to find the right person. I did a show up in the Bay Area, and I was doing it for these dudes up there who had a lot of equipment. like expensive equipment. So they was like, man, I said, what y'all doing? I said, man, we doing stories on people in the Bay Area and all that type of stuff. So I left, and when I started thinking about this, I had a good report to do because dude was at my show. So I called him. I said, look, man, this is what I'm trying to do. He said, all right. He said, what you think it's gonna cost? Gave him a number. He went back, called back, said, I think we could do this, and then he backed me.
That's dope. What's up.
Yeah,
that's dope.
So I want to get into a little bit what Dice was talking about. We're gonna start moving towards how you got into comedy. I do want to touch a little bit on you said you went to undergrad college
in
Iowa.
And you went to Ohio State.
You went to Ohio State for graduate program. And I was reading online last night. Like I know the story, so I'm not gonna tell it. I want you to tell the people how you got into comedy.
Well, I got into comedy I always been an outgoing person. I will say this.
Was you the funniest nigga in your crew?
Yeah, I was the funniest and the most talkative.
You was the jokester, basically.
Yeah, but I know that nigga's the most talkative. Because listen, here's the funny thing. Dannon has a bald head, so I only get to cut his actual head maybe about every
I seen pictures when he had hair.
8 to 10 weeks. About every 8 to 10 weeks, he'll allow me to actually cut his hair because he typically cuts his own hair. Typically, he comes to me just for the beard only.
Especially for before commercials. If he didn't cut it yet, he'd be like, "Yo, nigga."
Right. I done totally forgot my point that I was about to say.
About him being
the funniest one, but go ahead.
No. About being talkative.
drunk.
About being talkative. So, hey, it's the alcohol and the constant weed.
Don't blame it on the alcohol.
You know what I'm saying? So Dannon is, I ain't gonna say he's the only one, but this nigga, he's very adamant about looking sharp and looking clean. It's gotta be right. But this nigga will be the only nigga talking when I got a razor on his face.
But Trey is good like that. You know what I'm saying? I trust him.
I be like, yo, Danny, you gotta stop talking
that's
right
true, that's
now.
true. I'm doing better.
You are getting better. You are getting better. Anyway, so back to being the most talkative in your crew.
So what happened was, and it's kind of sad, but interesting is, when you grow up on the East Coast, when you grow up in inner cities, a lot of times as a kid, you can't really show who you are because in the inner city, if you try to act too too cool, too funny or whatever, people will they take it for a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? So I never was able to really, but I always was funny in class, and even people around in my hood would be like, "Yo, man, you was always crazy." Fast forward, in college, when I was in college, I was the undergrad. Yo, he needs that, man. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
In the middle of a fucking show,
these guys special.
Hit my motherfucking my vape pen. But anyway, college.
Okay. So anyway, when I was in college, what so many people don't know is, at an undergrad, I went to an all-white Catholic college, and I was the president of all three.
White Catholic college?
Yeah, in Iowa, and
in fucking Iowa.
Oh no, yo,
what?
No. Your black ass
from Philly.
From Philly was the president
of all my classes, freshman, sophomore, and because I had a personality.
In an all-white school.
All-white school.
In Iowa.
Listen, I'm from Missouri. I know how racist the Midwest is.
Well, let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
Again, like I said, when I got out of Philly, I was able to let my personality, I was like, not my guards, but my personality come out. And so when I went to college,
it takes some time for that though, too, right?
Yeah.
I was nowhere near rough as Philly, so
no. But I'm saying in terms of the people, the demographics.
What I'm saying is,
let him finish.
That's why I allowed you to bring your guards down.
But let him finish.
Yeah. So anyway, I wound up becoming the vice president of all the classes and vice president of Student Government Association my senior year.
Smart ass.
So
nigga.
yeah. Also, I gave a commencement speech. So
what?
Yeah, I gave the commencement speech in my graduation.
Damn, my nigga.
Yeah. So anyway, in that time, I always was outgoing, having fun. Went to grad school. Grad school was cool, working on my master's. I had 2 partners. So what happened was we used to meet every Friday at this club in Columbus called Point 3. So one day when my partner came in late, one of them came in late, he said, yo, Dan. I said, yo, we be like, Joey, where was you at, nigga? He said, oh, nigga, me and Taj went out to go get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right. I said, what's going on? He said, we went to a comedy show the other night, man. He said, man, them dudes were garbage. He said, you should be a comedian. And I literally I said, man, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I blew him off because I always wanted to be a businessman.
Yeah.
So what happened was I blew it off. Went through, got through Ohio State. Got my degree. I got my master's degree in computer animation. I'm the first African American to get an undergrad and a master's in the field.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you. I was the first accepted at Ohio State in their program. So
I would told you that nigga's like 85. Nigga,
see, they
like,
try to always remember, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't gotta be old to be consistent. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga did not mean like
Dannon been doing this shit since 1908.
Nigga, your life story is a goddamn movie.
Yeah, it really is. I plan on doing it. Hopefully, if
please, write that shit, something, nigga.
Yeah. So anyway, my last year I graduated and I was job hunting. I had a couple offers around the country. So one day I was just driving down the street on the street in Columbus, and I saw on the marquee that said open mic night. And I was like, everybody keeps saying, something just said, everybody keeps saying you funny. Why don't you just go there? So I called my boy up and I said, yo, Freddie P, I see what's up. I said, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go try to do some comedy night. He was like, nigga, you better not embarrass me. I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody even gonna know you with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna be on stage with me.
Like, you gonna be in the audience.
Yeah, so one thing led to another. I went on stage. The first night, I had 4 jokes. And the first time I ever went on stage, I got second place in a comedy competition.
That's what's up.
And
that gave you motivation.
I just got bit by the bug. And so I entered, this is a true story. So what happened, and what was crazy about that night was, for you to get on stage, you had to put your name on a piece of paper and they had to draw your name. It was 16 comics, they only had 8 spots. If my name didn't get drawn, I can't say I would have ever went back. You know what I mean? But I did. So what happened was, after that night, I said, man, people like, yo, you funny, who are you? I was like, I'm Dannon Green, you know what I mean? And the great thing about it, when I started, I didn't curse. Because I started, in the Midwest, white clubs, they didn't curse, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I entered this competition in Columbus, and this was the turning point of my life. It was a 6-week competition, on a comedy competition, and I won it. And,
that's what's up.
Yeah, and
how long was your set?
We had to do 5 to 8 minutes, and then the last round we had to do like 10 to 12, something like that. And what happened was, not how I won, but one reason I won was when I went to the bar, because if they're having a comedy competition at the same spot, you getting some of the same audience.
Right. Yeah.
And these 2 white ladies said to me, they said, you want to know why we kept picking you every week? And I was like, yeah, why? They said, because every week you came back with a different story. Like, I just came back I was just writing, I just have different
material.
Every week, and they were just like, what is this nigga gonna say again? I hope they didn't say that, but they probably thought that.
But the thing is, you got so much in your life that you've been through, and for you to actually take everything and make it funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I haven't even done that yet, though. I haven't done it as much as people think. Yeah, because it was emotional. I've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? So when you go through that, sometimes it's not as comfortable as you think it is to be able to put it out on stage.
Yeah.
So, and in my career, I didn't want to put it out too soon. You know what I mean? As like, I hate to say it, but wasted material. You know what I mean? Like, get out there and maybe not be the. But now I'm moving more in my career. I've been more, talking more and more about it.
Yeah. No, and that had to motivate you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Coming from, where you came from, and then like being around what you've been around, and your whole crew, and you being the funny dude, and then like them like cheering you on, like, yo, you need to go do this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's gotta mean a lot.
Yeah, well, what really meant a lot, man, was that my aunt and uncle who had been there for me after, my mom in the past, and I had to go to college. And even my friends, here's the main thing. It's not so much that they said, oh man, go ahead, do it. The main thing was, you do 6 years of college, you got your master's degree, you decide to become a comedian. Nobody came out and said, like, nigga, what you doing? No one shot it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They never shot it down. So that's another lesson. Nobody don't
You
shoot
could have been a comedian without spending $150,000 in
exactly.
your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's just part of it. But, I will say this, when I get up to go to work in the morning, when I have a show, when I got to come do a podcast, I ain't mad. There's a lot of people that don't want to go where they got to go to.
Bless. So I again, like I said, I was doing my research on you, and I was looking at your IMDb. I had no idea that you were in the movie Baby Boy.
I was in the movie Baby Boy.
For real?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, the people, the thing about
This
that.
nigga was in Baby Boy?
Yeah.
This nigga was in. I like.
Okay, so now here's the story of Baby Boy.
You gotta tell me the part.
Okay, so first of all, let me tell you the story. I was in the first boot camp that Bill Duke ever had. The first acting boot camp that Bill Duke ever had was 1996, 97.
Yeah.
In that boot camp, we had Anthony Anderson, Taraji, Chris Spencer, Shamar Moore, Lisa Ray.
Damn.
Monica Calhoun.
A lot of greats.
Yeah, I mean, damn near.
The names is like,
Annie
wow.
McKnight. Yeah, all these people, we were all in this acting class together.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the class.
That was the acting class?
That was the acting class, man. It was crazy.
God
it was crazy.
damn.
And so what happened was, after the end of the class, they were getting ready to do Baby Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So John Singleton I think John had came and talked to the class. I think John had us come, Bill had, because we would get visitors. Like we had Denzel come.
Yeah.
We had the Hughes brothers come when they was burned, when they was smoking all that. Yeah. So anyway, I just got a phone call. They said, "Hey, Dannon, they're doing this." I didn't even know how big the movie was going to be. They was like, "Yeah, we got a part we want you to play." So I said, "Okay, where's the shooting at?" I had to go down to the Comedy Act Theater. So I thought I was going to be doing stand-up. So they know what it was. There was a part, and my scene was with Hope Flood and Kim Whitley. You know what I'm saying? Kim Whitley, she's big now.
Yeah.
So my scene was, I was supposed to be it was a show called The Kiki and Boo Show. And I was supposed to be this guy who had dated both Kim and Hope. And it was like, like your Maury shows, and that kind of stuff. And that scene was supposed to be the scene that Tyrese was going to be looking at when he was in the room sitting down, when old boy came up and choked him on the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the scene. So what happened was they cut that out the movie and they wound up putting it on the DVD. The Kiki, so it's an outtake. So we didn't make the movie, but we made the DVD. So
Wow.
I still got paid the same, still was getting checks. And
That's
everything.
all that matters. As long as you give me that money.
And I got the credit. If you watch the movie Baby Boy and they run down the credits, you're gonna see my name. So yeah.
Here's the funny thing. So I was so again, I was on IMDb. Now I run across this movie called Butter.
Yes.
1998.
Yeah.
Nigga, that was my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember? I when I saw the cover, I vaguely remembered it.
Right.
Now, however, this movie was with Shamar Moore, Nia Long, Ernie Hudson, Donnie Wahlberg,
Donald Faison.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I was big into bootlegs back then.
Yeah.
So one of the things on IMDb, I don't remember the movie. Like I remember it, but I don't remember.
You don't remember it.
This motherfucker was rated on IMDb 3.9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
They said that movie sucked.
It probably did, but you know what? It was a great credit, and it didn't suck at that time because at that time,
nigga,
those movies.
That was a bootleg. That was a bootleg, a classic type.
No. But it's not that it was bootleg. But you gotta remember, at that time, they were making movies where black people was getting.
No, nigga, it was bootleg.
It was. It might have been bootleg. It wasn't bootleg.
Hold on. Here's the thing. He lived in Camden, so he got the bootleg.
He bootlegged it, but it was a feature film.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about that movie. The great thing about that movie, that was my first movie with speaking. My first speaking part. So that's that. And it's now called Never Too Big. That was the name of it. It was the original title was called Butter. Then they changed it to Never Too Big. But think about who's in that movie: Nia Long, Donald Faison, large. Donnie Wahlberg. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes.
A lot of people.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. If you don't know who Ernie Hudson,
go look at Butter.
If you don't know who Ernie Hudson is, Ernie Hudson played the retarded dude in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
What was his biggest movie?
He's had a lot of big movies.
His biggest movie was Ghostbusters, bro.
Ghostbusters. I totally
He was in the first one. Yeah, he was the only brother in the movie. He was one of the Ghostbusters.
That's what's up. Yeah, Ghostbusters. He was the black Ghostbuster. So if y'all don't remember it, Ernie Hudson was a black Ghostbuster. That's a good person to work on it because I've always liked Ernie Hudson. You know what I'm saying? All the movies I watched over the years. You know what I'm saying? So forth and so on.
He looked like the Sprite nigga.
Now here's a funny one that I came across.
Okay.
In 2002, you did a movie called For the Love of Money.
Yes.
Written and directed by Pierre.
Yes.
We trying to get him on the show. You know what I'm saying? He come through the shop every now and again.
Right.
Now, here's the funny thing. As I'm going through and I looked and it says the full cast list. And I get down and it says Dannon Green. Dice, check this out. It said Dannon Green, man with discharge.
Yeah. That was my part.
Nigga,
That was my part.
fell out laughing like a motherfucker. I mean, because I can, you know, I understand you're a comedian.
Oh no,
and I know Pierre's a comedian, so I can probably visualize what kind of role it was. But when you get down to your, when you get down to your credits and it said Dannon Green, man with discharge.
Right. Well, you know what's great about it? You said the perfect word, credit. You know what I'm saying? Because and actually that was another like cult film. Like Joey Wells was in that one. You know, you had a lot of people that were coming up was in that movie.
I actually watched the trailer, and I'm gonna go back and watch that movie.
It actually was a good movie. It's actually, to me, was probably better than Meet the
Blacks.
Meet the Blacks. I mean, really, the first one. I mean, I'm not knocking.
You know they got Meet the Blacks coming out too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But I'm talking about it. You know, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying in terms of how he did it. He put a lot of Pierre put a lot of effort into that movie. He put his own money in it, and it was really a good project.
How many movies have you been in?
I've been in movies and projects over 32. That's not counting Comic View. That's not counting One Mic Stand with Kevin Hart. Yeah. That's not counting my television credits with Everybody Hates Chris and Kevin Hart show.
On
32 movies.
32 different projects. Yeah,
he was on one of them law shows too.
No, I was on the show with
like one of the murder shows.
No, it was the cop show back in the day. What's the freaking?
That's what I said. Law show. Was
no,
it
wasn't
Shield?
The Shield.
The Shield.
So yeah, it was a lot. Yeah,
I was trying to remember.
And my scene, my scene was with the brother that got life in prison for killing his wife.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was with him and the other cop. And Anthony Anderson was in my episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's your with everybody who you went to acting class with? I mean, how's your relationship with all?
Oh, good. I'm cool with everybody. See, let me.
We just told you, Dannon Green is a good guy.
Let me say something.
Listen.
But the people don't know that, nigga. The people don't know that. I want him to explain.
But I'm gonna say to all of our listeners out there.
Remember the question, because this nigga's about to go off.
To all of our listeners out there. If you don't like Dannon Green, there is something wrong with you.
I appreciate that love.
You know what I'm saying? This brother, he's a good brother. Like, he's always, here's the thing, but don't get it twisted. He's from Philly and he will box and he's a boxer. He will whoop your ass if you get out of line.
Well, let me. I understand. I understand what you're saying, Dice. But let me put it this way, because a lot of times people say, "Well, Dan, you know all these people. Why aren't you in their projects? Blah blah blah." So there's lots of different stuff. And this is what I want to say. I have never been the kind of dude that's going to be down with you just for what you are. Mm-hmm. Now, some people can say you're stupid because you take advantage of it, but it's not me. I didn't grow up that way. And I'll use a prime example. When Shaq was with the Lakers, that was my guy. Like Shaq would come to the club and he'll tell you, now he says it now with anybody else, he used to tell me, man, you my favorite comic. And he used to come to the club, him and Kobe back in the day, and Shaq would just yell out, your mama, something like that. He would just yell out something stupid just to get you to get on him. It got to the point that me and Shaq became real cool. I've been in Shaq crib, blah, blah, blah. I could have probably been in that camp if I really wanted to. Mm-hmm. But that's not my style. Yeah. I'm cool with everybody. If Shamar Moore came here today, mad love. Is Taraji, I remember when Taraji got Empire. It's a true story. I went to the big screening of Empire. It was down at the theater down there on Sunset Boulevard that day. Probably about 2,000 or 3,000 people. I remember that. Yeah, you remember that, yeah. Then they had the after party at the W. Mm-hmm. So everybody's in there, and then when I'm talking about everybody, anybody and everybody that was in the business was there. Everybody, and I'm talking about all your heavy hitters, white, black, you name it. So Taraji was getting pictures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I went over to, she was taking pictures and stuff. So I kind of was laying, and I walked over. She was sitting down with her head down like this. Like, just not down, but just she had her head down. I said, hey, excuse me. I said, hey, babe. I said, Taraji, let me get this picture with you. And she said, look, no more pictures. I don't want to take no pictures. And she looked up. She said, oh, shit, Dannon. I'm sorry, Dannon. So that's the kind of love I be getting. She didn't, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
You told anybody.
I mean, because y'all was all in that class. It's like, we all here because.
Lisa Ray loved me. That's when Lisa Ray see me, because here's the deal. The only thing, like I learned
besides being a good dude, too.
But it's business. But business-wise, I'm just saying, it you know this and I know. Life ain't about being good or bad. You know that shit. The niggas that make
it goes a long way, though.
It goes a long way.
It's like it's energy that you give off,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because if you give off,
you can't sit up here and say it.
And that's not to say that everybody. That's not to say you're a good person, so you don't do any wrong.
Yeah, I know.
We all do wrong,
right?
But you can tell the difference in energy that a person gives off. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga Dannon would tell you, be like, I know this story, but I ain't gonna talk about this person. Like he keeps everything very, very personal. Dannon's a good dude.
My point is just energy. Like when you give off good energy, people, you know,
remember
they remember they want to have you around. You know what I'm saying? And that, again, that's not to say that you don't do anything wrong with anybody.
Living in Hollywood, there's not a lot of real people, and shit like that. So people recognize real, and they respect that. Therefore, that's why people, like when they see you, they're not treating you like, like some fucking bigot or something.
Let me say this, man. What I found out is this. It's like, in terms of being cool with entertainers.
Yeah.
I'm like this.
You're an entertainer.
I'm an entertainer, one.
Yeah.
But really, to be honest with you, I learned this from Lawrence Fishburne years ago in terms of the business. He said, look, man, you don't want to be hot for 5 years. You want to be warm for 25. So what I've always tried to do is stay consistent with my entertainment. Yeah. So these people that you're talking about are some of the same people that see me and go, I see you doing your shit. So I may not be with blown. So they got respect in that factor. And always remember, when you're doing that, no matter what the situation is, at the end of the day, when you do need to come back for a favor, those are the people that are gonna give you that favor. You know what I'm saying? On another thing that you said, real quick, on another thing that you said about, how you are around people, the reason that I first of all, I've never been a gossiper. If you ever notice, I ain't never been in really in the middle of too many scandals or nothing. And that's because...
That's one thing I like about you, because like we both from like the same area, bro. And like we deal with the same type of people, And when I met you and I known... like nobody has anything bad to say about you, And then for you, tell me like you like... a lot of people gossip. And for you to be up here and be like, yo, like that ain't my business. I'm not gonna say anything about this person. And shit like that. It's like
Dice gossips.
Go ahead.
It's like, for you to be like, yo, I ain't gonna say no names. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say this and blah blah blah.
Let me tell you why. The reason you don't do that is like I said one time. It's like one time when I came in the shop, somebody asked me a question about somebody. I said one thing: if I didn't know, I wouldn't say nothing. Two, if I did, have an issue with it or the situation or not, I ain't gonna say nothing. I said because I don't know who know this nigga in the shop. Yeah. So if I say something, it's like a text message. Yeah. I could say it this way, but by the time it reads, it's read. You said fuck him and his career ain't shit. You know what I mean? So what I try to do is I try to think and avoid a lot of situations that I don't have to put myself into.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that shit about you because you remind me of my niggas, you know what I'm saying, back home. Yeah. Because, like everybody know, like, yo, if you down with this clique, like, first of all, you just don't talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know why?
You don't put nobody's business out there because, like, that business could come back and get you killed.
I'm gonna tell you the real reason why I don't do that. I don't like people to come up. If you ever notice, I don't do a lot of bagging. Nope. You never see me bagging in the shop. You don't see me.
But bagging in the shop is part of the shop.
Just hear what I'm saying, though.
You don't see me, him, nigga.
You don't see me bagging. You don't see me. I don't do a lot of playful hand pushing and all that shit because I tell people and I don't get into a lot of arguments because when I'm about to do this, when we're gonna do this, it's gonna be real. We're gonna put our hands on because I don't put myself in a situation where a person can come back and Dannon Green, I slapped that nigga in the head one time, fucking around. Nah, you're not gonna do that. So, and I don't even do it in the gym. There's a dude at our gym, and I had to check him. I was like, well, man, and I check him hard. He's a young boy, but I said, look, my man, he's from Prague, one of those, I think he's Russian and something, mixed. And he was like, he's just playful, but he's 6'2.5", 175, motherfucker 19-2 as a pro. He'd come up and tab me one day. So one day he came up and took his glove and kind of mushed me behind my head, and I threw a hook to this nigga body. And I hit him. And I said, man, dude, and I pulled him aside. He said, yo, he was laughing. I said, look, you're a professional. Be professional, man. You know what I'm saying? I come here to train. I don't come here to play around. And now he got mad respect for me because I checked him on it. So I've just never been that kind of dude to want to play those type of games.
So let me ask you a question because
I think, I personally think, like,
you're like, just heard me say, let me ask you a question.
You're like a man's man.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're somebody, like Do you have kids? You don't have kids?
I had no children.
I mean, but I mean, if you did have kids, you know what I'm saying? Or, I mean, you're definitely somebody to look up to.
I appreciate
you know,
that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you're a man's man, bro. I mean, I respect you because of who you are as a person, man.
I appreciate that love.
I mean, I like that about you. I mean, like I introduced you to my pops. I mean,
Yeah. Your pops,
I was like,
yeah.
yo, I mean, y'all both from Philly. Like, this a good dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm glad that I know you. I mean,
I appreciate
because
that love.
I like to know real people.
Cool.
Yes. So before I was rudely interrupted,
Right, go ahead.
I had to
let
say
me
that.
ask you a question. I
What?
understand. Let me ask you a question. You say you don't like, you really don't get in the bagging. We bag a lot in the shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I fuck with you. I joke
Oh,
with you a lot.
yeah.
Is that cool, or would you prefer that I stop?
No, it's not that way. What I'm saying is, like, for instance, here's the point I'm trying to make.
You wanted to cut me off of that shit?
Well, I didn't cut you off. You cut me off, nigga. Because
Did these niggas just cut me
and I
off?
said, let me ask a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
So the reason that I say that is because of this. Trey knows me. Dice knows me. Jamal may come and know me. Chris may come and they know me. But see, I try to have it where I don't want no nigga that don't know me to chime in.
I got you.
And it's always a dude like that. So you don't know me well enough.
I remember you got mad at somebody that did that one.
Yeah, because you don't know me. So what happens, and then you and see, that's unfortunately that goes back to my street mentality where nigga, you don't know me well enough to try me. They know me.
But I mean, but the thing is, everybody in the shop. I mean, we all know you. I mean, so therefore we check that person. And be like, yo.
Well,
chill,
no,
nigga.
No.
I mean,
But here's the deal.
Like,
See,
like
that's
we
the
know
point.
this nigga.
Yeah,
I mean, but you can't say nothing.
But and I appreciate it. But that's not your job to do that.
No. But I mean, I feel like it is. I mean,
because when you're in the shop,
I mean, like,
you know
it's
what
like,
I'm
I mean,
saying?
you
It's
family, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
so it's like, okay, I mean, we can say we want to say, I mean, but don't feel too comfortable. I mean, to say something to this nigga because you don't know him, because I'll be ready to fuck you up along with him.
Right.
Look at his eyes. He's been drinking.
But no, I just
Nigga,
want
you've been drinking. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's some real shit.
I'm
you
glad
feel the same way too, though, right?
All right, yeah. But I'm glad we brought up bagging on Dannon, because this is going to lead me into our last little segment of the show. We only got a few more minutes, and we're going to bring up fantasy football.
Oh Lord,
Dannon
now you
Green.
bag.
Thank you for Khalil Mack. Matter of fact,
man. Oh yeah, you're welcome about that. I don't know what John was thinking about, but you know,
Dan like the Eagles and the Rays. So let me. So I'm gonna tell you this.
Dice.
Hold. Thank you for Khalil Mack, and thank you for not starting Wentz.
Okay, you welcome. You welcome.
I'm going to bring up this.
Okay.
Dannon is in our fantasy football league.
See,
he's terrible.
Draft is on Tuesday.
He's terrible.
I'm the
draft
worst.
is Tuesday.
Yes, I'm the
He's
worst.
terrible. Here's the funny thing. We have 3 comedians in our league. Dannon Green, Earthquake,
Who else?
and G.
And
Oh,
Garrett,
okay, that's right.
Garrett Dixon.
Yeah,
All of these niggas are terrible.
yeah. We got shit to do, nigga.
It's funny. That's what I say. Yeah, I was was like, damn, it's funny that all of our comedians are fucking terrible. But I
No
do
pun
want to tell you, I thank you for your contribution to our league.
Damn, that's disrespectful motherfucker right here. But go ahead.
I do show love though, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about both of you niggas.
No, nigga, I don't hit you up.
No, you do.
Come on, Danny. I mean, Trey hated that shit. I used to then I'm like, yo, bro. I mean, set your squad up.
I would say this.
I know you're busy.
I would say this. You remember Dice saved you from our league because I was ready to kick Dannon out. Dannon wasn't
My
making
nigga.
changes. He was like almost a guaranteed victory for people.
Now look,
I pulled Dannon to the side. I
Got so
said,
love for
Dannon,
the tri-state,
I said, hold on,
nigga,
hold on.
like,
I pulled Dannon. I said,
Tell
Dannon,
you, nigga, like,
I said, I'm about to kick
that's
you
my
out the
nigga.
league because you're not really playing.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'm gonna play this year. I was like,
And
man,
the year
don't-
that I played, the first year I
hold
didn't
on,
play.
time out. But I was like, I don't know. And you remember Dice was like, nah, give him a chance.
Right.
I said, Dice just wants the easy victory. But
Nah,
Dice,
it wasn't that, nigga.
I know that. It was my joke.
Go
You're
ahead.
fucking up my shit.
My bad.
Dice was the one who came to your defense and said, let him stay in the league.
Well, here's the deal. My first year, I was terrible.
Second year, you was terrible.
The third year, because this is your fourth year.
Terrible.
Right?
This is our
fifth year.
Fifth year.
So I was in all of them. I think. All but one. I don't think I might have been
You
the
was
first one.
everything but the first season.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
here it is. So then when I decided to take it serious, I actually I think I made the playoffs, but I didn't win. that year. I had a good year. Last year, I took it serious, but all my players, everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
Everybody got hurt.
And you had a good team, too. You had a good team.
You know what I mean? So
you started out good.
And then everybody got hurt. I mean, and then you talk about the comedians, but you niggas don't like to trade. They're like, all right, well, good luck, nigga. So
hold on.
Why give up somebody good for
Josh? Why give up somebody?
We had Josh Martin on the show last week.
What the hell is Josh Martin, nigga?
You know Josh. He's in our league. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right. So
his daughter plays on Blackish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Josh he's in our league and he's always complaining like niggas don't trade. Niggas like
niggas don't trade.
Here's my thing. I pick the players that I want.
Why would I want to give you them?
Why would it? And if they're doing good, why would I want to give them to you for one of your terrible niggas?
All right, well, let me ask you guys a question. So the purpose of this question is what for the fantasy?
It's just to bag on you about being terrible in fantasy.
Okay.
And it was just a reason to talk about fantasy football. To tell you the truth,
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. My bad. Damn. Shit.
Like I hope you're ready this year.
You know what?
Now, I mean, thank you. Now, I mean, I'm a Bears fan. Thank you for
which by the way,
Mac. Now, I mean, we making it to the fucking playoffs this year,
my
nigga.
God, this nigga smoking crack.
We need to get some coffee.
Time out. Which brings me to my point. Hold on. About fantasy football. This brings me to my point. Dues is due. So just so both of y'all know,
Tuesday.
Hold up, first of all.
By Tuesday.
Hold up, man.
Nigga, when I come to the draft party, nigga, I got my $110.
If you are in our fantasy league and you do not
This ain't got shit to do with shit, nigga. We talking about Dannon right now. We say this for after the podcast.
Yeah.
We talking about the podcast.
Nah, nigga,
we spent, hold on, we done spent
you trying to give a shout out to the fucking, to the fantasy league, nigga.
Dannon's in our fantasy league.
You got a point,
nigga, we spent the last 55 minutes talking about Dannon personally.
Nigga, we got an hour to talk about Dannon.
Well, do y'all want to go ahead and finish ask me just a few questions about what's going on? And
yes, nigga.
We pretty much touched on everything.
No, we haven't, nigga.
Dice is getting drunk.
What's coming up next, Dannon? I mean, because I mean, I want to know what's going on with this documentary. I mean, what's going on with that afterwards.
Right.
I mean, I want to know what's going on with you. I mean, I know you've been in a lot of commercials,
right?
And been performing. I mean, and doing a lot of things. I mean, I want to know. I mean, what's next for Dannon?
Well, what's going on right now? Thanks for that question because it's important. I'm still doing.
I was going to end with that, but
I'm doing a lot of commercials right now. Still auditioning. The documentary is really what is something that I feel like I got to get done now. You know, after interviewing these guys and having men talk about their lives, that you would be very surprised of some of the things that happened to them, and for them to be able to open up to me about it, I got to get this done. I don't know where it's gonna go, but
I saw a recent interview. You said you was trying to get this whole thing edited and done by like October,
the end of October at least, because I've already finished all my shooting.
Yeah.
So I think that's my big thing, and then after that, man, to be honest with you, I'm hoping that this will be a calling card where someone will be my next thing that I want to do is do a movie. I want to produce my first movie. So, because that's been my ultimate goal is to have a movie in the theaters. So, if I get this in the theaters or Netflix, HBO, Showtime,
do you know Kenya Barris?
Yeah.
Get it to him. He just got a huge deal with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I'm saying? So he's gonna be putting out all kind of content.
Yeah.
I actually have an idea, Dannon, that I think that we can kind of work on together. You know what I mean? And make it either a TV show or a movie.
Right. Well, that's good, man. I mean, that's what it's about. What people fail to realize
this nigga just pitch you on Barbershop Talk like this. That nigga just realized, like, he just slightly pitched you. Like, because he put you in a situation that you can't be like, no.
Well,
we're on the air.
Well, the reason why I say this shit to Danny is because I know that we both can relate to the type of shit that I actually want to talk to him about, being from Philly and Jersey.
Mm-hmm. But real quick, the whole thing is I got that going on, and I'm just grinding. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people in the business, I'm doing the same thing, you doing. You know what I'm saying? Because people say, well, man, what you got going on? I said, man, I'm hustling like you. And I do want to say this. Entertainment is the same thing with anything else in life. It's all about an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And so all I can do is, keep being the person I am, keep grinding on my hustle, and then hopefully someone will say, you know what? It's like anybody. It's like being on a team. You got the third stringer. Marshall Faulk was a third stringer. Top dude got hurt. He got an opportunity. He's a Hall of Famer. So all I can do is hope that everything.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. All I can hope is that what I'm doing now, someone in the business that can make the move and say, yeah, I've been watching Dannon Green for a while. Dude, been on this grind. You know what you got, and I never come to the table empty-handed.
You know, a lot of people. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of people, and people will not be, surprised when you actually do blow up. Know what I mean? Because, you are, to me, you already blown up.
Yeah.
I love you as a person. I love you as a brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I respect you, bro.
Right. I appreciate that love, man. I really do, and I appreciate y'all having me on your podcast.
Hey, we
man.
like to thank you for coming through. Dice has gotten really drunk right now. He's been mixing
man.
white and dark, and I can see it because he will take this podcast for another 2 hours if I continue to let him. But unfortunately, we are at the end of our show.
I got a lot of questions.
I understand.
I love to come back one day, man.
We would love to have you
this
back.
Is the deal. I'm going when we get this documentary.
We definitely
completed,
gonna have you back here.
That's when I want. I'm
for
let
sure.
Come back, man.
So we do want to thank you for coming through, man, and just being a guest on our show,
I appreciate your brothers, man.
This has been another episode of.
Hold on, nigga. That's my line, nigga. This nigga's.
I can't say it.
What I really like
nigga, that's my line.
You know what I enjoyed? The producers back there, like
you
he's
just
like,
stole it.
I go through this shit.
Stole the line, nigga.
This is what happens.
I
when
mean,
you
I
mix
can't
white
say
and
this
dark.
shit too. I can't say it too.
No, that's my line.
Are you serious? I mean, you started off and you ended. I mean, I can't say nothing.
You helped me close.
I mean, you follow me.
You say.
Every once in a while, I could be like, yo, thank you for coming through, Dannon Green. And this has been another episode of Barbershop Talk Like This.
This is what happens when you look at Dice. Look, you see that look in his face.
See,
Paul, look at it. Everybody look at
Really?
it. He's fucked up. He's been mixing dark and light.
It's Labor Day weekend, nigga. I'm not even working tomorrow.
Can I give your fan base my social media?
That's what we.
I don't know. So
I was trying to get there.
If you shut the fuck up, let me go ahead. Dannon, we want to thank you for coming through. Let our people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can see you.
How many people y'all have followers?
I don't know.
I think I got a lot. No,
it's good. It's good.
Cool. I know. I was just. I'm hoping that an Uber driver or a Lyft driver is available tonight to help this nigga home because they gotta be drunk.
That nigga's lit.
No, hey, yo, you want to check me out, y'all? Check out me on Instagram, Dannon Green, Dannon Green, Green 66. That's my Instagram. I would love more followers. Most people that follow me are people that follow me, and then Dannon Green on Facebook. But I don't really tweet that much right now. But we're gonna start that once we get towards this project.
So, we want to thank you, man, for coming through, man. I appreciate you. I'm your host, Trey the Barber.
That's my nigga. And I'm this
oh my God.
This other host, Dicethebarber.
One more time. Dannon Green, want to thank you for coming through.
Appreciate
for Barbershop Talk Like This. I am your host, Trey the Barber.
And this your other host, Dicethebarber.
And thank you for tuning in to Barbershop Talk Like This. Peace. And we out this bitch.
We out this motherfucker.